Hello, everybody. What's up? What's happening? This is Mel Rapozo with the Coconut Wireless running solo tonight. Uncle Charlie is cannot make it, but we're gonna run it anyway. Let's go. All right, what's happening, guys? I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever. We got a new mic again, so I'm just making sure it's working. I can hear myself, so that's all cool. Let me know. Okay, I think, yep. Okay, I guess we're on. All right. So, guys, real quick, I got to mention Facebook has been still allowing us to go live. So, we are live. And but we will be going to YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube live as well. For some reason, we're not able to stream out to LinkedIn tonight, but we are on YouTube and Facebook. But at some point, Facebook's gonna not allow these lives, so make sure you get over to youtube.com/Mel Rapozo. Subscribe to the channel so you get notified whenever we get a live video or we put up new content. You get notified. Just click the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and the bell, and then we will be able to continue to share with you guys. Uncle Charlie is on Oahu. One of For a funeral of one of their family members. So condolences out to Uncle Charlie and the gang. So yes, he will be missed. So tonight we're just gonna talk story, guys. I got a little bit I want to talk about. So again, if you guys have a question, it would help me if you put a Q and a colon, because as the comment scroll, it's really hard to track. So if you have a question, put a Q and a colon, and then put in your question. If you have a comment, just go ahead and light it up. Just go light it up. Let me see. I gotta push all these buttons here. What's up, Lane? Aloha. I got your thumbs up. Sam, nice and clear. Almost hit 4 times this past week in a crosswalk. Haha. That's not funny. I know, man. It's terrible. Aloha, Susan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So let me know what you guys like to talk about. But I just got back from Texas. We were in Texas for I don't know, 10 days or so. Went to visit Nikki and Jacob, her boyfriend, and of course our grandson Jahari, who is just he made 1 year old on the 22nd. So we had a little 1 year celebration. My son flew up from Oregon, so the whole family was together. It was awesome. Austin, Texas is a really nice thing. But while I was there, and I don't do TikTok. I don't, I do some Instagram every so often. I'll pop up a video, and I have done TikTok in the past, but I haven't really focused on TikTok. But I don't know. We went to a playground where my daughter lives in this big, huge planned community. There's no shortage of parks for the kids, playground equipment, and there's one right around the corner from their house. These parks are scattered all over these communities, and they're very nice and they're very clean. But there's one large park with some water features, a lot of climbing stuff, and just all kinds of things for the kids and adults. So we went out. My daughter and my wife Patsy went out and with Jahari, and I don't know what came over me, but I said, let's just do a TikTok. So I'm gonna play it. It's very short. It's a minute, but because I wanted to chat a little bit about that. But here it is. What's up, guys? It's Mel right here in Austin, Texas, and enjoying the playground with my grandson today and my daughter. And just wanted to share with you guys why people move to places like Texas. In addition to 1/3 the cost of a house here, just look at the amenities, how clean these parks are. They got a water park, water feature. They got climbing towers, bridges, swings, some more climbing stuff. It's a fabulous place here in Austin, Texas, man. I gotta tell you. Houses for about 300 grand, cost of living, bread still $1 a loaf, 99 cents. Gas is $2.95 a gallon. That's not that difficult decision, unfortunately. All right, guys. Take care. God bless. Aloha. Yeah, so I just did that on a spur of the moment, put them up on TikTok, and yeah, Susan, it is hot in Austin, but it was really nice. While we were there, it was in the 80s. It was definitely comfortable. Unlike a couple months ago when we were there, it was in the 90s. But yeah, it was definitely comfortable. Keith, the barbecue, is nuts. It's and my Nikki and her boyfriend are foodies, so they made sure we ate well, and the food is just delicious. But anyway, I put it up on TikTok, and I was amazed at how much traction it got. I guess you could say it went viral. It was over 13,000 views, and it's still getting views. Um, no, that was not Ladybird Park. It was just a community park in the middle of their planned community. But I was just shocked at how many people, and then with all the views came a lot of comments, and I was very surprised to find out how many Hawaii people are in Texas, in Austin and Dallas and San Antonio. As the comments was coming in, I was getting a lot of comments from Hawaii people that were living in Texas, as well as Oregon and Washington and North Carolina. And it was just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments, along with some some not so friendly comments, which is some people are so mean. It's like, guys, I don't understand. What do you wake up in the morning just being happy to be upset and mean? Susan, the Mexican food is delicious. Absolutely. That's kind of all we ate while we were there, Mexican and barbecue. Yeah, and a lot of them were sharing their experiences. A lot of them had moved away, long time ago, 20 years, 30 years ago. And a lot of them moved because of the price, of the cost of living in Hawaii. And it was always high. It just seems right now it's extremely high. The cost of living here in Hawaii is just almost unlivable. And it's not Hawaii. And I wasn't trying to compare Hawaii to Texas. I wasn't trying to sell Texas. One guy got really pissed off and said, oh, you're just trying to sell Hawaii, sell Texas over Hawaii, or some nonsense like that. And I was like, wow, brother, go get a life. It was just an observation. It was just an observation. Um, he would make a great governor. I'm not sure who would. Oh, I see. Because Tyson always does this. Tyson, thank you for that Juju Smith-Schuster autographed jersey that you dropped off at my office the other day. Oh my lord, man! What a surprise! Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know if I'd make a good governor or not, but anyway, yeah, the guy was like bitter, like so bitter, and I'm thinking, wow, I just made an observation, like, hey, people got to make a decision to stay on Kauai or in Hawaii versus moving. Nobody wants to move. Yesterday, my dad. You guys all know my dad. If you're been in the village for any time, you know my dad. He's a villager, and he had lived the last 42 years of his life. He had lived in Seattle. He'd moved away 43 years ago, and he had been living there. And we all know when he lost his wife to COVID, he decided to move back home. And he's been here for a little over a year, and he himself could not find a place to live. So yesterday, he got on a plane and went back to Seattle. And it was sad. It was just a sad day. My sister Sandy posted on her Facebook. It was a double whammy because my nephew, her daughter's son, also moved yesterday to Oregon to go. He's going to live with his auntie, and it's sad. And and the reason is because they cannot afford to live here, and that is a frustration. And I was just making a comparison and basically saying, this is one of the reasons why people move. um, Wally Rita, I was sad when he told me he was leaving. Wally, thank you very much for assisting my dad with. So my dad, when he came to Hawaii, he shipped over a container with all of his stuff. remember 42 years of living in Seattle, so she had to ship the container to Hawaii, and the container really never got unpacked because he never found the place. He'd been living with my sister for the last little over a year, and so that container is going back to Seattle. And it's not that my dad doesn't have any money. He's retired. He has a military pension. He has Social Security. He has the money, but after you pay your living expenses, there's just nothing left based on the prices today. So yeah, was just a sad day, and it's so unfortunate that so many of us are seeing our families move away, because it's just again, it's just impossible. So title guarantee, every month they come out with the statistics for the month prior. So I have the September statistics for home sales, condo sales, land sales here in Hawaii. I mean, here on Kauai, and it just came out. So September 2024, median sales price of a home on Kauai in September of 2024, $1.7 million. $1.7 million. That's 26 homes got sold, and the median price is, it's not an average. It's half of the homes sold for more than 1.7, and half of the whole homes sold less than 1.7. But that was an increase from last year of 44%. 44%. And that is insane. The condos actually, the median price was 650,000, and land, empty land, just raw land, was 640,000. But just focus on the home prices. 1.7 million, folks. That was September. How in the hell anybody's supposed to be able to afford $1.7 million? You know, and a lot of those homes are the North Shore homes, or the ones up in Kukui'ula, up in Poipu, and these mansions are being sold for a lot of money. But at the end of the day, half of the homes sold, 13 of the properties sold for more than 1.7 million. And how can we even expect to have our kids stay on this island? So I know some of you guys, if you folks have stories, please put them in the comments. Hi Jane, because it's becoming a challenge just to hang on over here. Now a lot of people, I guess, had assumed that I had moved to Texas. No, I didn't move to Texas, and I really don't have any plans to move to Texas. But we have our very small home here in the Wailua House Lots, and I'm not ashamed to tell you, it's 720 square feet. It's 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, single wall, old Hicks home, and that's where we raised our family of 2 kids. Been here over 30 years. So at least we have a house. And I know a lot of people in the comments were saying, well, you just got to manage your finances better. And like, how the hell is right? I know, Susan. That's facts. But for the kid that's just coming out of high school, graduating, even getting done with college, and they're coming home, and and I use my kids as an example, right? Their parents, myself and Patsy, we don't have land. We have what we have. We have this little 7,000 square foot lot with a little house. We don't have property. We don't have second homes. They have to come here and buy or rent. And it's impossible. So yeah, for those families out there that have land and have money, yeah, the kids may have a shot. But most of the people I know, they don't fall into that category. Susan says, we have all of our family living in one house, 3 generations was 4, but that passed. Sorry about that. But yes, that is exactly right. So you have crowding. It's called crowding when you have multiple generations, multiple families living in one house and working morning to night. So that beautiful park that I just showed? Yeah, you don't have time to go there. We live very close to the beach and very close to the natural resources of our island. But when you got to work 2 or 3 jobs, you don't have time to enjoy those resources. My daughter is a stay-at-home mom. They get by, they survive very well with one income from Jacob, her boyfriend. That's the difference. The quality of life. Yes, it's not Hawaii. Yes, they have beaches. They have the Gulf, but it's not Hawaii. And I was not trying to say that it was a replacement for Hawaii. Tyson says, of course you would move there. That's where the Dallas Cowboys are. You're exactly right. Now, when both of the kids were living in Oregon, yeah, there might have been a chance because Oregon doesn't have a pro team, so I could still keep my Steelers. But yeah, that's one of the reasons, Tyson. I don't like the Dallas Cowboys. I don't. But anyway, yeah. So they don't have a shot. I mean, what do what are they supposed to do? And it is very frustrating, even as the chair of the county council, which yeah, I'm supposed to be have all this power, and but it's the market. It's Kauai has become a destination. Kauai has become an attraction. Kauai has become the real life monopoly board for the rich, and there's no way of controlling that. We raise the taxes on vacation rentals and resorts. Uh, to offset the increases in running our government. But we can't be raising taxes on our residents. So yeah, I it's frustrating to say the least. To qualify for a home under 1 million, a minimum income will need to be close to 150,000 a year, and of course the down payment, right? You need that huge. But thanks, Valerie, for that. Yeah, the down payment. Where the heck do you get the down payment? Again, for those that the families have money or have resources, uh, yeah, they might have a shot. Susan says, everyone has to do what is best for them. Only so long, barely living month to month, you decide what is best. Exactly, Susan, and that's the part that breaks my heart, right? Because there's so many of our keiki and our kupuna and all ages are moving away, not because they want to move, not because they don't like Hawaii. It's because they simply cannot afford to live here. And I'm sixth generation here on Kauai. Six. That's our family has been here for a long time now. There will be no seventh generation because my kids are now living on the mainland. And it's not right that they should be forced to move because of the cost. So yeah, try if anybody has any ideas. By the way, I'm open to any suggestions. There we cannot stop outsiders from buying our property. That's against the Constitution. Like I said, we can tax second homes and third homes, but we do have some local families that have second homes, and some have third homes that their family has kept over generations. We cannot discriminate against the way we tax. So yeah, it's we're stuck, and it's unfortunate, but that's the reality of life. So uh, yeah, it's frustrating, it's depressing actually. um, so yeah, so I just wanted to share that because I still read the comments, because the comments on that TikTok thing is still coming in, and it just cracks me up. One guy said, oh great, another scum moving into Texas. Like, oh, you dog. Another one said, oh, you don't, obviously you've never lived on the mainland before. No, I haven't. Yeah, because people like you, that's why I don't live in the mainland, because you guys are idiots that make that kind of comments. There was a lot of nice comments, though, I gotta say. There was a lot of positive comments, and a lot of people sharing their family stories about um, watching their loved ones move away. So I know we're not alone, and there's a lot of these cities, Texas being one of them. Austin is developing, it's growing. Prices right now are climbing, but you can get a house in Texas for about 300 grand, um, and I'm talking about a real home, not a I think the house I'm living in here right now in Wilo House Lots. I'm assuming that if this was for sale in Texas, it'd be probably for about 75,000 or $80,000. Your standard home, 1,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, on a yard with a 2-car garage, central air and central heating. Um, probably 300,000, 350,000. If you live in those brand new communities like my daughter's at, it's a little more. But still, when you look at, let me put up that slide again. When you look at the median price for Kauai, 1.7 million, you can buy about 5 homes in Texas, maybe even 6 for the price of one here on Kauai. So again, that I mean that definitely plays into the decision making of people moving. Susan says more taxing for those making over a certain amount annually. That would be a start. Yeah, and it's there's no way we can constitutionally tax people more because they make more money. I mean, we can tax based on value of the homes, but again, because the way the market has driven up our prices artificially, um, a lot of our local people we would be penalized. So it's very hard. It's very hard. Let's see. Empty home tax was just on the news. In addition to standard property taxes of about a half a percent point or less, the empty home tax would start at 1% of the home value. Yeah, City and County of Honolulu is working on a bill right now, and they're going to face some legal challenges. We are looking at the same thing. It's going to be enforcing that, and how do we know if the house is vacant or not? It's going to pretty much be complaint based. But yeah, that is definitely something that we're watching very closely. We want those homes to be put into the market because the reason our prices are so high is because of inventory, right? We don't have the inventory. The supply doesn't meet the demand. So therefore, we run into these issues, right? And it's just basic economics, right? When you don't have enough supply, the prices go up. What about utilities in Texas, electric and water? My daughter says it's all comparable. The one thing that is high in Texas is property taxes, but they don't have a state income tax. So it works out. It actually works out. So they don't pay no income tax at all. And the property taxes, again, unlike Hawaii, the property taxes up on the mainland pays for your schools, in some cases your hospitals. So it's, yeah, that's why it's higher. But again, if you look at the conditions of the parks and the schools, excuse me, I got this frog in my throat. I don't know why. Ice water. Yeah, they it's when people know that their tax money is being spent properly, they don't get as upset. They already tax more. It's based on a percentage of your income. We do have some income based tax. The way we charge our taxes, we can give exemptions to people, based on income, but we cannot charge more because you make more. Um, yeah, and I don't know if that's even fair. That the fact that because you make more money, your property taxes should be higher. There's got to be some nexus. There's got to be because your house is worth more. Do you get better services if you pay more taxes? So it's always the question. Councilmember Ross Kagawa, and I we spoke for about an hour this morning in my office, just looking at how we can fix this property tax system on Kauai. And we're talking about possibly bringing back the circuit breaker or the cap, so your assessments or your tax bills are capped. So for the owner occupants, the people that live in their homes, the local residents that live in their homes, would not be their tax bills wouldn't be going up so high so quickly. We are in some cases taxing people out of their properties. So we are taking a look at that right now. And annoyingly, though, we got to understand that it costs money to run the county. And can we be more efficient? Absolutely. Can we do better? Yes, we can. And that's something that we're all struggling with right now. Our infrastructure situation is not a good one. When you look at solid waste and water and wastewater, I know many of you watching right now are very familiar with what we're experiencing here on Kauai. And it's going to take a lot of money and it's going to take some sacrifice. But at the end of the day, we cannot be putting the burden on our people that forces them to leave. So yeah, so I kind of wanted to Larry says property values have nothing to do with the county services we receive. Yes, Larry. Larry is a good friend of mine, and he's a very intelligent man when it comes to county and services, and I appreciate his input. Very knowledgeable guy. So yeah, what else you guys want to talk about, man? What else you guys want to talk about? I just needed to share that because I thought it was funny. I thought, man, maybe I'll just go do TikTok full time. Just go do videos like that, and maybe I understand you can make good money with TikTok, but I don't know. They might. I thought they was going to get rid of TikTok because it's a China-based company, and the United States threatened them and said, "Hurry, if you don't sell your company to an American corporation, then we're going to cancel you." I don't honestly don't know what's the status of that. I mean, I don't think TikTok would uh, in China would let that go. I'm sure they would just hand it off to some American company. Yeah. So I don't know, but I just the power of social media. The power of social media. But it has created this whole generation now of people that don't communicate. They don't have any social skills. Everything is just commenting or texting. Social media is such a horrific addiction to so many people. And again, our kids, this whole generation, they don't know how to talk to people anymore. It's just I'll text you, or they look at social media and take everything that they read on social media as being factual. That is dangerous, folks. That is dangerous. There's a I do spend time on Facebook because I get a lot of information off of Facebook, believe it or not. But I'm smart enough to know that if you see something on Facebook, you got to fact check it. You just don't assume that it's true and go ahead and share it. And that happens every single day where someone sees a post and they don't check. I mean, it's a nice post. It seems real. It sounds real, and they just share it, and then it goes. In a matter of minutes, it's millions of eyes are looking at this post, and everyone is sharing it, and then all of a sudden everybody thinks it's true. And I have been watching a couple of websites or Facebook pages here on Kauai, and I'm not going to mention names yet because I'm actually going to invite the owner of the page to come on, because this person, I don't know if it's a male or a female. I think it's a female because I was reading some of the posts today, and she referenced herself as a she. So constantly posting nonsense, and it's a huge page, and I will never engage on social media on a post to someone I don't know and to some troll that is just trying to stir up crap and get more views. I will shoot a private message and say, "Hoy, I would suggest you check your facts before you print your stuff." But so many people rely on that, and it's not healthy. Number one, because you're spreading misinformation, and but people find joy in that. People find joy when they see engagement on their posts, and it just makes them feel better, even if in the process they're stepping on someone, smashing someone. They love to step on people when they're down, and I find no joy in that. I mean, but they do. There's many people that do, and many pages on Facebook. Like I said, even here in Kauai, that's what they do. They dig up old articles. They put out false information, and I guess they get their joy watching the people get upset and start to engage with each other and bad mouthing this person, and then you end up with a little verbal, or not a verbal because it's nonverbal, but a little text war or comment war, and creating anger and hate, and that why would you do that? So, but that's what social media has become, and it's unfortunate because social media can be an amazing tool. Tonight we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and uh, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, I will be posting on that page an invitation to come on our show. You know, they will never happen because that would require this person to show his or her face. And as long as they hide behind the anonymous or fake name, you know, they're safe. They're safe. Keyboard warriors, Derek. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Um, Kehao, thank you, thank you, thank you. It wasn't my birthday. It was Jahari's 1 year birthday. Jahari's 1 year birthday. You know, she's still my daughter Nikki is still not giving us permission to post pictures of Jahari. I wish I could share this amazing young boy with all of you, but I respect my daughter's wishes. So sorry. But if you see me on the street, you know, I it's crazy. It's like something happened after my grandson was born to me, to Mel Rapozo. And now it's like I show everybody in person. I can show the picture, but not on social media. But yeah, we they have their house is huge. They have like a 2,500 square foot house, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. There's an office, and so we their living room is so big. My daughter and I enclosed a section of the living room. We bought these gates, these child gates, and then we put the padded squares, the padded foam squares or whatever. We put that in. So because of that, he had a lot more safe areas to play around, and he started walking, and we were there. He had taken a few steps, but prior, but now because he has that open space, he found his feet, and now he's walking. So yeah, it was Jahari's birthday, and you know, and I know some of you have experienced this, but when you gotta say goodbye, it's hard. You know, like my wife and I, we said, my daughter lives about 15 minutes from the airport, and we said, my wife says, "We're going to Uber to the airport." Yeah, yeah, we'll Uber because I don't want to have to ride that 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes, knowing that she's dropping us off and we got to say goodbye. So we just cry, have our big cry at the house, jump in Uber, and it's so much easier. And it's so sad to say goodbye to Jahari, and and it's Texas is it's not cheap to get to Texas, so don't be surprised, folks, if you order an Uber or a Lyft here in Kauai and I pick you up. And I know a lot of you probably think I'm joking, but I'm not. I actually do have my Uber and Lyft app, and I went back to driving. Also, possibly looking for maybe a job at the airport. And I was talking to my friend who works at the airport. I said, "Wow, he said they had jobs for airplane cleaners," and I said, "Perfect. That cannot be too difficult." He said, "Bah, you cannot do that. You know, you cannot. But people can see you. People can see you cleaning the plane." Yeah, like, and what? I'm not embarrassed. Why would I be embarrassed? No, that was Keith. That was not the George Bush International Airport. It was the Austin Bergstrom, something like that. Yeah, it's not. It's. I'm not sure where George Bush is at, but yeah, this was the airport in actually in Austin, and Hawaiian Air flies direct from Honolulu to Austin, Texas. So it's just an 8 hour flight. Um, so it's long, it's far, and it's expensive. Thank God we have a place to stay, so we don't have to pay for accommodations. Although Patsy is buys most of the food while we're there, and buys all the stuff that they need. But it's the least we can do, and it's always a fun time. I hope that at some point, I don't see how this will change in my lifetime, but I mean, and I'm not sure what it will take for it to change, because I think at some point all the monopoly properties are bought up, right? And then what do you do, right? Then what do you do? People just keep flipping homes, and uh, but in the meantime, we lose a huge chunk of our Kauai population, our Kauai families, and then you just have the ultra rich, and then you have the service workers to serve the ultra rich. And again, I'm open to any suggestions. I've been doing this a long time, and I've never seen it this bad, and it's I don't know how you stop this raging bull from happening. I don't. We try to do our best, and unfortunately, because of the time that it takes to get anything done, we're losing families. We're losing families to the mainland, and we're not alone. We're not alone. The other islands are seeing the same thing. I just got back from our statewide conference last month, and sharing with the other council members, it's the same. It's it's no island is safe from this migration of our local people away, and it's due to the cost. It's due to the lack of housing. It's due to all of that. So, I said earlier we did raise the taxes on the resort and hotel, and the reason we did that was to generate an income stream or revenues that the county could use to purchase properties without increasing the property taxes of our local residents. The TVRs and the resorts can pass on these increases to visitors, and you guys know it's not going to impact the visitor. If they had to pay an extra $10 a night or $20 a night, it's not going to change somebody's travel plans. Not for the people that are coming to Kauai to stay in these resorts and stay in these vacation rentals. But if we are successful in getting the lands that we need, then that's one big obstacle that could be avoided, because now we can provide the land for developers to purchase. And the caveat for that increase was that $9 million will be generated this year, will be used to purchase lands for middle class families, not the low income. It'll be middle class, our professional people that are working, our police, fire, teachers, nurses, that can't afford a house, but with this revenue that we'll receive every year, we should be able to at least drop the price to a point where it can be affordable. Christine says, my grandbabies live in Oregon, and it's so hard not being able to help raise them. Her in-laws ended up buying a home for them up there because the chances of them being able to move home was zero. Yeah, Christine, I feel the pain. I feel the pain. And, again, that was, you need help, right? You need help from family and so forth. And Oregon, depending where you're at, Portland's expensive. I don't even like Portland anymore. That city's, I just don't consider it safe. But my son lives in Beaverton, the Hillsborough area. They're much more rural, and it's nice actually. The weather's, it's not Hawaii. I think that's the bottom line. Is it's not Hawaii. The weather in Austin, like I said, I was there last year for a conference. That's before my daughter guys moved over there, and it was like 107, 109. I think one day it was up to 113. It's miserable, and so yeah, but they have a quality of life that they would never see here on Kauai. They would never see here on Kauai. That child will grow up. Unfortunately, hopefully my daughter can infuse the aloha spirit into this boy, and he'll have some respect and knowledge of our culture here. I pray that happens. Otherwise, he'll be a Texan. Yahoo! But he's not a Dallas Texan fan. I can promise you. They're a Minnesota Vikings fan, because Jacob, my daughter's boyfriend, is originally from Minnesota, and so they're Minnesota Vikings fans. They do not like the Dallas Cowboys. That's how we all get along in that house. Yeah, but I'm just hoping that aloha spirit would, that whole cultural. I think it's so important that gets conveyed to Jahari, and then in some little way he may be able to pass it on to his future friends and classmates and so forth. And it's all about attitude, and I'm just hoping that will happen. I am an optimist, but we gotta wait and see, right? He'll get a influx of Papa Mel, and hopefully that'll be enough to keep him on the right track. Keep him on the right track. And of course his grandma, you know, good stuff. Anybody here on the show that are watching that currently living on the mainland that was living in Hawaii and moved? Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Congrats on beating the Chargers. Yeah, well, we lost last week. Oh, yeah. Dana, your dad's a super fan. Yeah, Jacob is a super fan. When we were up there and the Vikings was playing, Jahari has a jersey. Jacob has a jersey. Their dog Cookie is an Aussie Doodle. Has a neckerchief that goes around his neck with the Vikings logo. Um, I do have some jerseys that I collect over the years, so I took up a couple of Vikings jerseys. So I wore a Vikings jersey, but Jacob's dad lives in Houston, and he's a huge Houston Texan fan. So there was a little bit of conflict there, happy conflict, friendly conflict, but the Vikings did win. They're undefeated, and they got a good team. So, mm. Mm. This ice water is delicious. So, what else you guys want to talk about? What else you guys want to talk about? I know one of the big topics right now that I've been hearing about is the situation with our solid waste, and the transfer station in Lihui is closed for renovations. Kapau will be closing next month, and we're having a lot of issues with solid waste. Where on any given day you'll have at least one, maybe two facilities down because of mechanical issues. So, that's just, again, the ongoing issues of county government. Dana says, I was raised loving the San Diego Chargers, but my dad didn't like it when they relocated. Yeah, oh well. Chargers a good team. Mel, do you know if there's any plans to widen Kuhio Highway between Wailua River and Hanamalo? I do know that there are no plans, not at this time. They're satisfied with the Contra. Um, I think if you folks have been following politics in the last decade, it's always I've been loudly advocating to open up that Kane Road that runs alongside Kuhio Highway and keep that as a permanent open lane. So you'd have two lanes going in and two lanes going out. But, the powers that be do not survive or do not support that. So, yeah, there are no plans. There's no plans. There are some plans that's been around for decades regarding the alternate route, the Mauka route, but I can honestly tell you that while they talked about it, there is no active movement. And I can honestly tell you that every year when we go to D.C. to meet with our congressional delegation, we're constantly begging them to start taking a look at that Mauka route because a large portion of our highway, the Kuhio Highway out to Hanalei, is going to be impacted by sea level rise in the future. And I think that's the problem with a lot of politicians is their outlook is short. It's based on how long they have to serve in office and not beyond. And I look at things differently. I think we got to look 20, 30, 40 years down the line because that's how long it takes to build that Mauka Highway that we know we will need. We know we will need. You're talking probably 30 years before we see it being developed. So if we start in 30 years, then we're too late. Kind of like what's happening with the landfill. Traffic backup is out there is ridiculous. It's Larry. It's both sides. Yeah, it's the west side, the east side. It's it's every day now. If you're coming into Lihui, for no reason at all, and maybe it's the horrible synchronization of the traffic lights at the intersections. I don't know. We have too many cars for the paved lanes of travel. That's the problem. So I don't think there's much you can do with the lights that's going to alleviate the problem. It might improve it a little bit, but what about the loop road to the Hui Canal? That's the one, bro, Merton. I mean, that's the one. That's one of the alternate routes that we gotta take a look at. The problem, and Lahaina fire, the Lahaina fire really showcase the necessity to have escape routes, and we don't. So that is my, that is whenever I'm communicating with our state delegation or the congressional, I'm referencing the line of fires because we know Wilo house lots where I live. There's and I'm our situation is shared by so many places on Kauai. There's one way in and one way out. That's it. So and the highway, if you get a tsunami or any disaster, how do you get people to safety? Well, you don't, right? So people get stuck in traffic. They get out of their cars and they start running, and then the disaster consumes them. Is there a plan if Wailua Bridge goes down? I know they're fixing it now, but you never know the weather. No, there's no plan. That's my point. There is no problem. I mean, no plan. Everybody's hoping nothing bad happens, but hope is not a strategy, right? We know that hope is not a strategy. Am I buying a Tesla Cybertruck? No, I'm not buying any electric vehicle. Not that I have any problems with people that drive electric cars. God bless them. I'm just not an electric car kind of guy. I need gasoline. It's the antique traffic signals. Yeah, I think, like I said, Larry, I think using better technology, better systems may improve some, but because of the volume of traffic that we have, it's just slow, and it will be slow. Yeah, just stay home. We'll go to Lihui before we go to Kapa, my wife and I. If we gotta go, if we can get it done in Lihui, we'll get it done in Lihui. Because the Kapa traffic, and then God forbid West Side. I had my coffee hour out in Koloa last night, I guess it was, and I just left early because I had anticipated the traffic, and then there was no traffic, so I got out way too early. By the way, I'll be in Kapa on Tuesday night at the Kapa Neighborhood Center at 5:30 for those of you that are in the area. But we're just talking story and listening to the community. But everybody, it's the same issues, right? It's the same issues. In fact, it's the same issues that we had when I first ran back in 2002, 22 years ago. And we still haven't figured it out. Here on Hawaii Island, so many cars. Yeah, we have way too many. Desi says, how about utilizing a ferry from Wailua to Wili Wili shuttles to areas around people who live and work? Yeah, I mean, I think if that bridge is to go down, yeah, I mean, they're going to have to get people across. And how are they going to do it? The bus system, our bus system is, for our community, I think they do a good job. We're not we're rural. We're a rural community. Ridership is because of the way people live on Kauai. And on Oahu, you have the base, you have the ridership to sustain that operation. But on Kauai, we don't. And what the bus has become a shuttle for our leisure travelers, just the people that want to just hang out all day in air-conditioned buses. And now buses get Wi-Fi, so they can go in the bus and do all their social media on a bus. The problem is we don't have bus drivers. We don't have enough bus drivers to keep the proper amount of routes open, and that is a problem. We don't have bus service on Sundays here on Kauai because there's just no drivers. The new signal technology is designed to handle higher volume of traffic and proper intersection design. Yes, Larry, again, you're the man. If I become the mayor one day, Larry, I might have to yank you out of retirement. Can we drive tuk-tuks on Kauai? Yes, you can. You can drive tuk-tuks on Kauai. I don't know if I would drive a tuk-tuk on the highway, but yes, there's no prohibition on a tuk-tuk. Dana says, I parked next to a dirty Cybertruck today. Funny because a little kid wrote in the dirt and decorated the entire thing. It was an improvement to the design. Really? I don't know. I think that's one hell of an ugly truck. And one of my friends on Facebook posted a picture because one of her clients has one here on Kauai. I did see it. I did take that back. I did see it on the road. But she said he let her go inside, and actually I think she even drove it. But said the inside is not fancy at all. You would think it was a Tesla. I mean, I've been in a couple of Teslas that I've used as Ubers when I was off island, and I called for an Uber, and a Tesla picked me up. It wasn't a truck, but the Tesla cars, and it's really nice inside, and it's very quiet. Obviously, it's electric, but it's comfortable. It's smooth. The suspension's great. I'm just not an electric kind of guy. Yeah, when I put my gas, I want to be able to smell the fumes, and not plug them in and get no joy. No, I'm gonna stick with my gas car. I'm gonna stick with my gas car. All right, we got about 5 more minutes, 7 more minutes, 8 more minutes. Anything else bothering you that you want to chat? Let's see. Price of gas. Wow. Filled up my daughter's car in Texas, $44. Um, wait, hold on here. I just see a comment. Here we go. Many may have heard you wrong, but thought you mentioned not being able to Facebook Live. Facebook is only shutting down. No, what's happening is, so Facebook, they do not charge for live streaming. So we were free to stream on your Facebook page. You could stream on your Facebook group page, and they stopped the group page. So I can only show my stream on my personal page, the main page. But my I have a campaign page, Friends of Mel Rapozo. I cannot stream to that. I cannot stream. And they're actually working on a way right now to monetize their live streaming services. So when that happens, then I think you'll see Facebook discontinuing the free live streaming, and then charging people to do the live stream. YouTube, they sell ads. So if you have YouTube, your videos get interrupted with ads, and they get paid. They get a lot of money on that. And Facebook doesn't have any way of monetizing the live stream. So yes. So we currently do stream on. We actually stream right now to Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I'm sorry, YouTube. Twitter already stopped the live streaming, the free live stream. I'm not going to pay them to live stream because I can do it on Facebook and YouTube. But when that happens, then I'm just going to have everybody just watch on YouTube, because it's a much better platform. It works better as far as for the system that I have. But Facebook works fine, and I really like Facebook. The thing, too, is Facebook, with YouTube, if you go to my YouTube channel right now, you'll see all of the videos that I've ever had, and there's over 800 of them on my page, and you can watch it. You can search for a guest if you wanted to watch our show that we had, the Governor Green or Mayor Kawakami or Senator Kochi, or if you just wanted to specifically find. It's hard to find it on Facebook. So YouTube's a better all-around streaming software. It's just a lot of people, a platform, but a lot of people are not comfortable with going on YouTube. But it's a lot easier to manage. So I don't know when that's going to happen. I put out that warning. Just so that people that at some point we may lose the Facebook platform, and then we'll be strictly on YouTube. Septic conversion, $20,000 grant is great, but my cost between the seepage pits is about 90 to 100. Would there be a way to propose a low to no interest loan? I'm working with House Representative Nakamura right now. We are actually revisiting, or they will be revisiting the statute. I think that is, I'm going to be straight up, I think that's a stupid law because it's not enforceable. And they want everybody to go to septic, and there's no real evidence to show that a septic will be less of an impact to our environment than a cesspool. Definitely, if you live close to the streams or the oceans, yes, the cesspool definitely needs to go. But rather than focus on converting all of these septic systems, which, again, it's not going to be that much more beneficial to the environment. So we are actually looking at that, Darren, as we speak. Okay, I know, again, it's something that the county and the state's going to have to work together on. But Nadine Nakamura has acknowledged and agreed that we got to revisit the statute and we got to make some changes. Long time no see you live here. Marshall, where you been, man? We do this every week. We're back on every week. It's usually me and Charlie. He's at a funeral in Oahu, and they had a gathering tonight, so he could not make it. Yeah, filled Roxanne, filled gas, $44, man. She has a Honda Pilot. It's $2.60 a gallon up there. When is Uncle Charlie coming to talk story? He's here every week typically. Again, he's off on Oahu for a funeral, so he couldn't make it down. He'll be back next week. He will be back next week. And yeah, we miss him. He's actually a good guy. He's a fun guy, and he does a lot of good stuff. I'm just trying to catch up on some of these other comments here. I had gas cars in electric. Free charging is great, but parking 45 minutes in a parking lot sucks. Yeah, it's just not for me, Keith. You know, and until we have enough chargers and you know, what the hell are you doing? You run out of power. Right now, you know, you can call a friend and bring a gas can, but what do? You bring a generator, put them in your trunk or the bed of your truck, and plug them in. I don't know. I just know. And how many of you? I wanna hear the truth. How many of you? And I really don't care what the cost is. Would step foot in an electric airplane? I want to know. Go ahead and tell me. Daryl and Iris, good to get back and catch up on happenings back home. Looking forward to seeing you, the Veterans of Hawaii, next week in Vegas. For seeing the Veterans of Hawaii next week in Vegas. Okay, I don't know which. What are you talking about? Am I going to Vegas next week? The Veterans of Hawaii next week in Vegas for. Oh, or maybe that's just okay. Yeah, have fun in Vegas. Have fun in Vegas. Karen says, not me. I'm not getting on an airplane. Fern Anui Holland, candidate for Kauai County Council. Is it November yet? No, I bet you cannot wait. Fern, one of our candidates for County Council. Thank you for jumping in, Fern. Appreciate you, girl. Desi says, nada. Roxanne says, nope. Larry says, no way. The island is too small. As long as you top off at night, you should be good to go every day. Is it a Boeing electric airplane? Electric plane, don't know about that, but they bring it in a seaplane that's electric. Okay, seaplane, they're designed to land in water. I might maybe on an inner island trip, I might do it. I might. I don't know. Undecided. My ex-boyfriend is a captain Hawaiian Airlines. We'll ask him. Yeah, please do. Please do. No, you know, look at that last couple that they sent up in a space thing, and the poor things are stuck at the space station. You know, I mean, it's a completely different subject, but I'm just saying, you know, no, I'm not the guinea pig. No, I'm too old for that. You know, maybe in my younger days I would be the first to volunteer, but no, not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. Oh, okay, Dariel. We usually come home this year. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, well, good. Well, enjoy Vegas. Have fun. Crack the big one. My daughter just sent me a text, a picture, in that someone hit $1 million on a scratch card in Texas, in northwestern Texas. I think it's where they're at. So, Kehao says, I have a hard. Okay. You might have to re-explain that one, Kehao. I have a hard on a gas plane getting. Okay, use your imagination, folks. Electric plane to be hard for airlines. Take too long to charge, to change up. So I know. I think. Well, I don't think it'll happen either. But remember, some of our crazy politicians at the federal level wants us to convert everything to electric. You know, at some point you got to be a realist, and no, they're still struggling with managing the airplanes that we're building now. Biggest problem with electric vehicles is charging station at condos. Not enough people illegally running extension cords across stairways. Exactly, Desi. Exactly. I got locked out of my car because my cell phone lost connection. Wow. Anyway. All right, folks, it's 8:02. I want you guys to get back to your nightly activities. Appreciate you guys jumping on tonight. Charlie will be back next week. We're working on trying to get the Alaska Airlines CEO on the show, so he can share with us the what we expect with the merger of Hawaiian and Alaska. So yeah, Karen, real quick, if we convert everything to electric, what happens to the dead batteries? That is a topic that I definitely want to cover in a future show, because those electric batteries, those car batteries, and I'm assuming those plane batteries are not the safest thing for our environment. So we'll touch on that. I'm gonna go find me an expert. I'm gonna find me an expert and bring him on the show so we can get the cold hard truth about, is it really wise to move down that road. So anyway, guys, with that, you guys have an amazing, fabulous weekend. We love you guys. Take care. Until next week. Hui ho, and you folks, be happy.